Well, good afternoon, you glorious mother truckers, you, and welcome to another video. Wow. So the reform thing continues to rumble on, and yeah, standard predictable responses from many people, but the overwhelming vibe of the comment section is sort of agreeing with what I have to say, wanting the answers, the same answers that I want, and people are just disappointed. Some are angry, and after watching Katie Hopkins on Paul Thorpe's stream, she's saying exactly what we all need to say. You see, because I've had to, you protect the party. What do you mean protect the party? Oh right, see, what you mean by protect the party is just pretend that this didn't happen. Just ignore the issues that are clearly there. Yeah? That's you've got to protect the party. What's your silly answer? Was one of the comments I had. But what do you mean by silly answer? So basically, even though I have replied to you, by going, what's your silly answer, you're already not going to listen to what I have to say. And that's the biggest problem, is people don't listen to what you have to say. They think we're doing this, I'm doing this on purpose, like others, we're doing it on purpose to split the vote and destroy the party. It's not us. The problem isn't us. The problem is the fact that you won't take criticism, that you won't entertain anything other than this. I mean, protect the party. But just out of curiosity, the party's done this to themselves. Why should I protect the party? It's not me who's made a screw up. It's not me that's done this. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to highlight it because I've always had issues. But if you're not prepared to listen, if you're not prepared to question the issues that are at hand, blatantly obvious problems and issues, for the sake of protecting the party, which, no offence, the vast majority of us are doing a damn good job trying to promote it, and all these sort of things, and loads of people volunteer are doing the same, yet it's the leadership of the party that are causing the problem. They're the ones who aren't protecting the party. But no, much easier to blame a YouTuber who goes, hold on a minute, there's a problem here. I mean, people, you get the same response. I mean, oh well, if we don't have reform, what do you want? We can't have Labour. What are we going to do? Civil war. Look, will you all stop talking about a civil war? Me and Freedom Dad discussed this on his stream. Why do you want a war? Why do you want a civil war? Civil war will play into the hands of the government. And as I said, they'll engineer something to kick one off. And like idiots, which you can see quite clearly, because apparently I'm an idiot. I'm not an idiot. I can see things that you lot clearly can't. But then again, you're just blinded by your loyalty and desperation to a party. They want us to have civil war so they can lock us up, get rid of the problem in a nice big tidy package, nice and easy, square it away, no problems. But why do you always go to that? Man, if you don't win, then we're going to have 10 years more in Labour, or we're going to a civil war. Why? Why not try? We've got 4 years. Instead of having to go at people who are trying to raise legitimate, concerns and issues, highlighting these things. So what you go and do then is spend the time shooting us down and blaming us for splitting the vote and all that ridiculousness, without actually looking and questioning the people who are actually causing the problem. which is the party that you're blindly following and blaming everybody else for their fuck-ups. They're the ones who did this. But no, blame the YouTuber. Blame the Brummie, because it's so much easier to do that, isn't it? It's so much more vastly easier to blame me, to call me out, to call me an idiot and God knows what else, waiting for my silly answer. Well, if you aren't prepared because you've already decided what the answer is going to be, don't ask the question. But please feel free, all of you want to carry on, just keep going at me, because I'm not the problem. The problem is the party that you're following, the party that's causing the problem, the egos that are ruining it for everybody else. Excuse me. They're the problem. These are the people that you should be calling idiots and waiting for silly answers, because they're not giving you answers. So YouTubers like me and many others, and there's not many of us, because let's be honest, you start talking about reform and, other people shut up because it's a stupid thing to talk about and we all need to be together and all that stuff and give it all the loyalty shit and everything. Doesn't work like that, does it? But no, you keep shooting down the YouTubers, those who wish to raise the issue, to say, look, what's happening? There's a problem. And yet you don't want to address that. You don't want to challenge reform, because why? There's things you're asking me that you should be asking them. But you don't. You hit at a YouTuber who wants to sit here and go, there's a problem. There's a problem with the ego of Nigel Farage. There's a problem with the sheer stupidity of Richard Tice. And the fact that we've changed and gone very soft on Muslims and deportation, not long after a Muslim becomes the chairman of the party. And you're all happy with this. Now, because it's a lot easier just to shout at us. You see, the thing is, I don't want reform gone. I want reform. But they've got to be better than they are. And the only way you get better than you are is for people to have constructive criticism and ask you questions. But it's not me. It's not others who are causing this issue. It's not a far-left conspiracy either. It is reform. They're the ones who screwed this up. No one else. Katie's right. These people need to get together. You need to have your heads banged together. What you all need to do, you need to get these 5 people in a room, bang their heads together and tell them to fucking grow up. That it's not about what you did with Brexit and what you've done and how I'm this and I'm that and this party wouldn't be anything without me. And start concentrating on the country. The thing that's important. The thing that you're supposed to be wanting to represent. But instead, it's about massaging your own egos. It's about continually changing the message. It's about not having any idea who is going to do what when you get into government, because that's coming. But you don't want to do anything about that. So when people raise those questions, which is exactly what Rupert did, the same questions I'm asking, and you can see the responses you get. You're trying to destroy the party. In Rupert's case, you want to become Prime Minister? No, he was just asking and pointing out issues, problems, and potential solutions, and you shoot him down. Like YouTubers who do the same thing, and you try to shoot them down, calling them idiots, dumb, crybabies, knee-jerk reactionists. At least my eyes are open. At least I can see that there is a problem. But if you don't see there's a problem and you continue to walk around with your eyes closed and none of you getting a room together and sorting your shit out, then you're going to blow yourself up. And it's not going to be down to any bloody YouTuber. It's going to be down to arrogant people who won't listen, who won't pay attention. They're the problem, not me. I would love to be able to say in a month's time, all the problems we sorted out, look at the Reform Party, everything's nice, this is what they're going to do, they're going to do this, they're going to do this, they're going to do this, everything's good. Let's get behind them. But that's not going to happen because we don't want to. Because it's all, they all go and say, oh, the party's bigger than one man. Except, of course, it fucking isn't, is it? Because it's all about one man. And if you insult or damage that man's ego, you're gone. So the party that's supposed to be for the country isn't. It's all about massaging one man's ego. Run by a guy who came out of nowhere with a lot of money. And since he's been installed as party chairman, the messaging has changed and we've literally turned in the Conservative Party 2.0. It is embarrassing. It is something that I won't vote for. In trying to be everything that you said you weren't going to be, you've alienated a lot of people. And having people on X and this and the other telling other people, stop growing up, stop believing the bullshit. There is no bullshit. People are just reporting what they can see with their own eyes. And not towing the party line, not towing the MSM line, but looking at what's happening, reading all of it, not just one side. I read all the comments of what's going on and making an informed decision based on those actual statements. But as always, it's us YouTubers who are at fault because we've got nothing better to do or whatever, or this, that, the other. We're idiots and crybabies and give you silly answers. Then if that's what you feel and that's what you think, why are you still watching the channel? Because if you don't want to listen and you're not prepared to even entertain any of the issues that I raise, then why are you watching? Reform could be the solution, but it needs to take a long, hard look at itself and to realise it's doing quite a lot of things wrong. And having people in the party attacking those people who are pointing that out isn't going to help. Any case, 2 videos popping up. One will be the last one I uploaded. The other one will be the one that gods of YouTube, using the mighty algorithm, will have picked for you. And it is called The Chosen One. If you agree with what I say, just hit the subscribe button. You can like, you can share, and you can join in an adult conversation in the comment section down below. Because even when people don't agree with me, I don't delete them. They're there. I'll maybe answer you if I can be bothered. Because sometimes I just look at them and go, nah, it's just not worth it. And, you know, I've already actually only mentioned to one of them that maybe you should go and play with the stickle bricks. Any case, enough of that, I'm done. So, until the next one.